Hey Helldivers, in this video we'll dive into the latest changes to the Galactic war map. Turns out we've made a costly mistake. We'll also discuss a recent change announced on the Helldivers 2 Discord that got players upset. And I'll break down the game director's posts about personal progression. But that's not all, there's plenty more to cover. If you find this video helpful at any point, consider hitting the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay in the loop. Alright Helldivers, let's dive in. Yesterday, the Automatons launched a massive assault on multiple planets, including Mesa, Ballistica, and Short Bay, home to the Jet Brigade factories, before quickly hitting Clarel. The clip you're seeing here is from before the attacks, and this is what it looks like now after some time has passed. We lost Mesa, which isn't surprising given the scale of attacks, but we also failed to defend Short Bay, meaning the Jet Brigade can easily rebuild their forces. On top of that, the Automatons took Ballistica, and now it's looking grim for Clarel. We're not going to win that one either. If you check the Helldivers 2 companion side, it's clear we're losing ground. So let's break down the mistakes we made. We should have all shifted our focus to Sojoth, a planet with low resistance, especially since Clarel was facing a brutal level 37 invasion. If we'd done that, Clarel might have been saved. Here's how we could have executed a gambit. By liberating Sojoth, we'd have secured both it and Clarel in one move. If you're not too sure what I mean by gambit, let me clarify. Check out Sojoth. It has a supply line with arrows pointing towards Clarel, showing that the Automatons are channeling their forces there. Taking Sojoth would have cut off that attack completely, sparing us the need to defend Clarel directly. But here's the catch. If a planet like Clarel has two supply lines feeding into it from different sources, for example if Plaza and Sojoth both had arrows pointing at Clarel, then the gambit strategy would fall apart, right? You'd have to liberate both supply planets to stop the assault. At that point, it's smarter to just focus on defending the Deep Forge complex, because why would you focus on two planets? Now, that's if there were two supply lines. We only had one. Anywho, unfortunately, most Helldivers chose to push towards Clarel, and as I've mentioned, we're now losing ground. We simply don't have enough forces to hold off the Automatons. They'll take this planet for sure, and I suspect they'll seize the Deep Forge complex to do something sinister, either reinforcing their Jet Brigade units or possibly creating a new automaton enemy type for us to face. Either way, this could lead to something far worse down the line. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what's going to happen next. We know we're losing, but what do you think the Automatons will do with the Deep Forge complex? If you have any ideas, drop a response in the comments below. I'm eager to hear your take on the whole situation, whether it's about the gambit strategy or the possibility of a new enemy type. Let me know. I'd love to have a great conversation with you Helldivers about it. What I'd like to share next is the discussion between a Helldiver and the game director, who's also a developer. Anyway, it all started when this player asked if there are any plans for late game progression. The response they got was that the team is working on it, though the game director cautioned that things can change. Here's what he said publicly in his own words. Things are coming. I don't want to go too much into detail or promise too much because things can change and dates can move, and the worst thing I can do is to create expectations we don't live up to, but we know more late game progression is highly requested by our players. Hope this makes sense and doesn't feel like a nothing burger, but we are working towards things. Unfortunately, there's no estimated release date for long-term progression. Safez, the game director, as you can see, wrote that it could potentially be delayed, shifted to a different date, or altered entirely, and he doesn't want to reveal too much too soon, or even give us a release date, right? My take on this, I think they're still figuring out the game plan for progression, or maybe they're already working on it and have some elements ready, but they're in the process of debugging and testing to ensure everything functions smoothly before releasing it to the public, which makes sense. They don't want to release an update that's half-baked. Since we're on the topic though, what would you like to see for long-term progression? Would you enjoy getting rewards like items every time you level up, or would you prefer something completely different? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Moving on, there's an interesting discussion on the official Helldivers 2 Discord that's upset many players. Apparently, the community managers and moderators have removed all references to spreadsheets and the Helldivers wiki page. For those who don't know, these spreadsheets contain detailed info like weapon stats and enemy vulnerabilities, like how much damage it takes to destroy a charger's carapace, or how many shots are needed to take down a factory strider, stuff like that. The issue quickly spilled over from Discord to the Helldivers 2 Reddit page. It all kicked off with a well-known data miner, Xelius, who also goes by John Spreadsheet on the official Helldivers 2 Discord. He posted this and specifically said, "Just talked with Baskinator, unfortunately seems I'm forced to retire from here and the server. Any resources regarding stats seems to be off the table, including my spreadsheets, divers decks, Roy sheets, and the wiki. My content has been removed from links. Wish you all luck." Beyond the community managers removing the links, what's really going on here? Apparently the reason for the removal is that the content involves Datamine info. Now when you hear Datamine, it seems straightforward, right? You'd assume it's about leaks or unreleased content that shouldn't be shared. But that's not the case here. The spreadsheets only contain detail on weapon stats and enemy vulnerability spots, nothing more. Regardless, the community manager Baskinator responded with this: "Links that contain data mined info have to be treated in this channel like they are in the rest of the server. You're welcome to make this content, but the links can't be pinned here and can't be shared, debated in the chat. You can always put the links in your profiles or share them in DMs with one another." The players on the Discord weren't too happy about it, as you can see from the reactions below, but the main reason stems from the arguments brewing on the Discord, which the community manager wanted to put an end to. A fellow Helldiver and a member said that the restrictions are unhealthy for the community. Baskinator saw the Helldivers comment and replied back with this: "This rule has been in effect in every other channel in the server. This one has gotten away with circumventing it for a long time because we have earnestly tried to support these efforts. But every time I enter this channel, I see nothing but petty arguments, and it's time to reel it in." You can see from that response that it's mostly about the arguments. I also noticed another comment from her saying that while you're allowed to discuss the numbers, you can't share links to data mine content like Divers Decks, the Helldivers wiki page, or John Spreadsheet stuff like how I mentioned earlier, because it includes data obtained through data mines, such as figuring out how many hits it takes to destroy a Hulk's battery pack, you know, all the numbers and whatnot, for example. So, in summary, you're free to talk about it, but linking to any spreadsheets will get you in trouble, and that's why so many players on the Discord and Reddit are not happy about the recent changes. I'll include a few screenshots here to highlight some recent comments about the situation. What's your take? Was it fair for them to remove the links, or was it a mistake, especially since the information provided wasn't directly tied to unreleased stratagems or weapons? Speaking of Reddit, someone on the Helldivers 2 subreddit replied to Baskinator suggesting they add an in-game encyclopedia, which I think is a brilliant idea, especially if it includes lore too. I'd definitely love to see that. Lastly, there's one more response worth mentioning. A Helldiver pointed out that the game currently lacks useful information about weapon stats. They noted that you can only see recoil details for melee weapons and questioned why anyone would even need to know about melee recoil. It's a fair point. In response, the community manager agreed that there should be an official, reliable source for this info, whether in-game or external. She also suggested it'd be great if the spreadsheet creators collaborated with the Helldivers wiki page to ensure accuracy. A player chimed in, pointing out that's exactly what they were already doing until Baskinator and the moderators banned linking to wiki pages. So yeah, the whole situation is pretty chaotic. Now, I can understand banning data mine info about unreleased stratagems or items not yet in the game, but I don't fully get why they had to block wiki pages and the spreadsheets unless the arguments on Discord were so disruptive that they felt forced to step in and take control, right? I mean, I guess to some degree it does make sense. I can't say for sure since I haven't seen how bad the arguments got. Either way, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this entire situation in the comments below. Do you agree or do you disagree? Last but not least, for today's video, we have the top 3 comments. If you guys would like to be featured, all you have to do is comment down below. The first top comment is by Prodigy_DX. I think the next major update will be the Illuminate bringing their whole vanguard through the wormhole, introducing new enemy types. That very well could be the case, and I'd imagine maybe they'll stop at Moridesh, and then everything will come through trying to attack Super Earth. I think that might be the case. The second top comment is by Legend Purple Dragon 152. By the way, I love Spyro, but you wrote, Bot divers deployed to Vogue. We can do a gambit and cut the attack on Clarel off. It'll be much easier than trying to defend against a level 38 defense mission. My thoughts exactly. I even mentioned that in the video and talked about it. I also talked about it in today's video. So yeah, I absolutely agree with you. The last and final comment is by Boop Soldier 9328. We need to gambit on Vogue Sojoth to win at Clarel, and then we could defend during the new few days against the squids. That's the tactics we need to do. Again, yes, another comment that gets the plan, that understands the whole idea. That's what we should have done. Unfortunately, we didn't do it. Anywho, guys, I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you have, comment down below. Let me know your overall thoughts about everything we've talked about. And also, join my Discord down below. Join the Goosedivers. You guys on the Discord, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, join us over there. Let's chat it out, talk about everything. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Thank you to everyone that's currently a member on the channel. I appreciate your support so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.